We're going to start off with the Vince and WWE trial. So, and that, I think that is the most important story. This is actually really big, and I don't think people are understanding just how big this is. So Janel Grant and her attorneys, they have delayed the WWE and Vince McMahon lawsuit at the request of the federal government, at the request of the Department of Justice. Okay, so here, this is from the Observer site. Said she has agreed to pause her lawsuit against Vince McMahon, WWE, and John Laurinaitis. According to comments from Ann Callis, the attorney representing Grant, her client has agreed to a request by the U.S. Attorney's Office to stay her litigation. Stay means pause, pending a non-public investigation into the matter. Here's the quote. Ms. Grant has consented to a request by the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York to stay her case against Mr. McMahon, WWE, and Mr. Laurinaitis pursuant to a pending non-public investigation. And Callis, an attorney for Grant, said in an emailed statement to Bloomberg on Thursday, "We will cooperate with all appropriate next steps." And so Dave Meltzer says basically the Grant lawsuit is pausing at the request of the Justice Department as the government is conducting its own investigation. So this goes back to when the feds showed up at McMahon's house and his office and raided and took everything and took his phones and all that stuff. Like this is huge, man. This just got a lot bigger.
The Southern District of New York. Who else? They've been in the news lately.
They have, but this is these are U.S. attorneys, so it's different departments. So the people that got Trump, former WWE Hall of Famer Donald Trump, on the 34 counts of falsifying, official records or whatever it's called. That was the actual state. That's the state of New York. So this is the feds, the U.S. attorney, but in the Southern District of New York. So yeah, they're close proximity, but they actually work. They have different bosses.
Interesting. So these guys don't prosecute her. They think they're going to lose. As was reported by Andrew Zarian. So it's funny to me how the Legento machine has been in full effect this week. We had numerous people tweeting, "Do you know how well NXT did against the playoffs this week? It's really quite amazing. Like, did you see how great WWE is doing? It's almost like they knew something was coming this week." And the amount of the mutual friend of ours, we got a text message from a mutual friend of ours who may or may not be. I won't give him away.
No.
It's like, I can't believe you guys haven't been blocked by Raj Giri yet, and I kind of had to laugh about that because he's a tool of the Legento media, and he's just a tool in general. So I always find like Vince is probably going to go to prison, but he's in his 80s, so like. I mean, honestly, what does it matter? Like it's good. It's good. But at the same time, it's like I almost feel like it's too little too late.
Yeah.
I truly believe that. Like this probably should have happened 30 years ago, but whatever. What makes me laugh about all this is the way the puppets in the media just dance for Nick Khan and Chris Legento. And it's like, it never ceases to entertain me and how just completely oblivious they act to all of it.
Yeah, they're willing to just copy and paste. And you know what? I got to give credit to, I think Dave Meltzer was not touching that subject for a while, but he is absolutely coming after all these clowns, specifically Raj Giri, for copying and pasting these Legentile emails that he's getting. Even if it doesn't come from Legentile directly, like they're getting the information. It's incomplete information. It's absolutely PR spin, and they're trying to get ahead of all these stories to get themselves on the front page, to get the positive news on the headlines, to push down the WWE event story. And that's why we're opening the show with this. That's why we're opening it instead of the Sean Merriman interview. Like, this is more important, right? Even though the Merriman thing is like one of the great, like one of the funnest things I've ever done in my life is to talk to that guy. But this is so much more important. And looks like Awesome One in the chat. I just saw this thing pop up. He said, Southern District of New York is no joke. If they go after you, you're getting put behind bars. They got SBF and Bernie Madoff. So the Bernie was that guy that ripped off all those like celebrities and all those like Kevin Bacon, like a ton of people.
SBF. Why am I not?
SBF. Somebody in the chat, correct me. I think SBF might be a crypto bro. I'm not really sure.
Is it? Okay.
But you notice how I just read that and then I just talked about Bernie Madoff because I knew who that was. I wasn't gonna let everybody know that I didn't know.
Well, I don't know either. I mean, I'm a
Yeah, okay.
Midwesterner. You're a
Yeah, FTX.
Midwestern by way of
Yeah, he was
F.
the a crypto guy. Yeah, he's a
Oh,
crypto
okay,
dude. Yeah, crypto
good.
dude. He scammed a ton of people out of crypto money. Did you see the Tom Brady roast?
I did not see the Tom Brady roast. I know of it,
So
but I did not watch it. We don't have Netflix.
it's so good. They had this comedian on there named Nikki Glazer, and
I'm
she goes,
familiar with her work.
"Tom, you lost $30 million in crypto." And then she looks over at Gronk, and even Gronk was saying, "I know that not real money." But the way she did it was just so great. And everybody's just looking at Gronk, just dying laughing. It's like, even I know that not real money.
She's hilarious. Like I've seen a bunch of her stuff on YouTube and like whenever I go on Facebook, she's always on my reels. She's really funny. That's great. That's a great
Yeah,
joke.
yeah, that was,
Um
yeah,
so yeah, Vince is fucked basically, right? I mean that's where we're at.
yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And honestly, like, I don't think that this lawsuit gets paused if Ann Callis, who is a very, like, she's a legit attorney, if she
Yes.
doesn't think that the feds actually absolutely got something on this guy that's actually going to hammer him. Like, they're not pausing their lawsuit for the feds if they know that there's not something crazy coming. You know what I mean?
Well, think about what we had the last few weeks, right? The WWE side has been real, and let's not forget. You could sit there and separate. Well, Vince isn't WWE anymore. Yeah, they're in the lawsuit, my man. So I mean, like they're putting all this positive stuff out lately. They're putting all this negative stuff about Janel Grant. Like this wasn't. This was like 2 weeks ago. This stuff got leaked. So I mean, like they knew this was coming, right? They're trying to stroke the media. They're trying to get their more friendly people, more people willing to play ball than probably are necessary because they're not going to get with the real media, right? The real media is going to tell the real story. But we got enough dorks in the wrestling media that'll just love their access and want to make sure that they're cheese board, like that billionaire. He's not a billionaire, he's a millionaire. That millionaire dork, Raj Giri. I can't wait till he actually blocks us.
Yeah. JD, we got a super chat from
Oh,
our favorite Triple H hater. Um, Glassdoor Gamer says, hopefully some Triple H stuff comes out by the DOJ. I think that would just warm your heart, JD.
it's not okay. No, it wouldn't, because that means he did something really, really bad. And
Yeah, I know.
I don't want victims. Like I don't want to, I'm not the kind of guy that goes, yeah, that person got hurt. Like I'm not that guy. But I'm sure, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
like
That's not what I mean. I just mean that you know, because we know that the leadership in WWE is not completely innocent here.
no.
So they had to have been up to something. I'm not saying that I hope that Triple H has a victim, but you know, there's
There's
very a likelihood that some, maybe not even just him, but there's got to be more people in that company that
oh,
had some shady stuff going on during the time.
for sure. Now don't get me wrong. Is he guilty of, at worse turning a blind eye to what this guy's doing? Yeah. I mean, he's been there for I did that like LA Knight. I didn't even mean to. I mean, like he's been there damn near 30 years himself, and he knows everything that goes on in that company, right? And has for years. So I mean, like going back to like Ashley Massaro and stuff like that, this dude knew and let things happen because he liked his job and didn't give a crap. So I think he's a scumbag, but I think there's like levels of scumbaggery, right?
Yeah,
Like Triple H scumbag, but Vince is like overlord scumbag.
yeah.
Like,
Vince is Weinstein. Like he's like top of the line
yeah.
scumbag. But here you go. But we got to be careful, JD, because this guy Corey Brennan of Fightful has said it's
Oh
incredibly
Christ,
important to
this guy.
ask Triple H about the lawsuit, but it's important to remember that Triple H at this time has not been named as someone who knew in any legal documents. Focus on facts and evidence in hand, and don't speculate on something so sensitive. So, JD, listen to
This
Corey here. We got to protect Triple H at all costs. Okay.
because he loves his NXT. This fightful turd, right? This little Irish turd who you just can't flush down the toilet will lay down and fall upon any sword necessary to protect his beloved WWE. This is why this kid is happy. He's perfectly working with Jimmy Van, right? Because again, Jimmy Van, thank you, Vince. Thank you, Vince, for all the crap that you've pulled on people over the years. Thank you for covering up Jimmy Snuka's murder. We appreciate that. Like this dude is just in such a perfect out for himself. And the fact that he gets some NXT scoops, ooh, it's like talking to high school kids. Like I can't
But
I can't
JD,
understand this.
those are not actually scoops that he's getting from NXT. That's
I know.
like NXT, like PR people, like just pushing random stuff to him to get the other stuff off the front page.
Look, man, and we've had decent back and forths with the leader over at Fightful, so I'm not going to bury the guy. But I mean, like, they love their tweets. They love engagement. Yeah. They run off. I mean, like, hey, we got a $5 super chat and we're going crazy for it. They get tons of super chats. The problem is they don't have people willing to ask hard questions over there. They don't have people willing to be dickheads. They have guys like this dude who, you remember Tiananmen Square?
Yes.
Remember that guy who stood in front of it?
Was it the dude that set himself on fire? No, yeah. Or
that
he
was
just
Vietnam.
In front of a battle tank.
Battle tank. I think of the dude from Vietnam, the monk, the Rage Against the Machine cover. No, think about the dude who stood in front of the tank at Tiananmen Square. And that's this guy, right? Yeah. There's tons of people willing to really ask questions and push the agenda and really make sure that this company and its leader for 50 years get what there's coming to them. But not, man, he's going to stand in front and make sure beloved NXT is safe and sound. I can't stand this guy. Cannot stand him.
Yeah, and King of the North knew that, and he sent it to me and said, "I think this is worthy of bad tweets." And he goes, "JD's probably gonna go crazy on this one." So
the king knows. The king himself has been on fire this week on Twitter.